Welcome to our interactive online training. Today, I want to take you through how we use ArchiCAD program. ArchiCAD is used for designing architectural plans from commercial, apartment, residential, or industrial plans, especially house plans. So we use ArchiCAD to draw plans, have our measurements, and also we can view the program in 3D. So to start, when you open ArchiCAD program, you click on the new file, and then the new project dialog box will appear. Remember, we are using ArchiCAD 22, so we are having that template for ArchiCAD 22. Then you just click on new. Then you wait it to open. After opening, it brings us now to our interface. So guys, this is the interface for ArchiCAD. The interface is the same for all other versions. For example, 22, 20, 2018. They might be different or different versions, but the interface remains the same. So I just want to take you through the introduction part, the interface part, so you can get a better understanding on how ArchiCAD works. So when you open ArchiCAD, the white part, which I'm showing here, is called the model. This is where we make our drawings. You can see we have like 4 objects here. These are just elevations. When you zoom using the scroll bar using your mouse, you'll find that's north elevation. This is west elevation. This is east elevation. And then this is west elevation. So your drawing must revolve around this particular section or this particular boundary so that it allows you to view your elevations. So these elevations can be moved depending on the size of your project. You can move them. To pick any object or any item in the model space, we use the arrow tool. So when you click on the arrow tool, it allows you can select. When you click, you can see them being highlighted one by one up to the top. Yeah. So that's how we select objects or tools or items in the model space. So you can either move. When you click on one of the elevations, you right click on your cursor beside it, then you come to move. When you click on move, you can see we have drag. You can rotate if you want. You can mirror. So I want us to drag. When you click on drag, you simply now click on that elevation, then you can drag it to enlarge, or you can simply reduce the viewport. So you can simply enlarge, and then you click out. Another shortcut, you can click on that. Then these are nodes, these black circles on the item. They are called nodes. These nodes can be adjusted or you can use to drag. So when you click on that particular node, there's that flyer which usually pops in, which can allow you can move. You can see that I'm still moving. So you can enlarge your area. You just click and then you drag. So those are one of the ways of which you can drag, or you can stretch them using the nodes when the flyer pops in after clicking the node. Yes. So as we continue, here on the left side of the screen, we have what we call the toolbar. The toolbar contains various tools used for designing an architectural plan. So it's divided into 3. Let me close that arrow. You'll see we have design. The arrow is for selection. Then we have design. The design, when you click to expand the arrow, you will find the design elements or the design tools for architectural. Now they range from wall up to mesh. So these are various tools required when you are doing architectural designs. Then we also have document. When I click on the document, this is now the documentation detailing or describing your project or your plan that you are designing here. So we have dimension tool here, we have text, you can type, we have fill tool, we have lines and much more. After the document, now we have more. Here under more is where we find some other elements which you can also insert in your plan. That's the toolbox. Sorry. On the right side of the mouse, we have what we call the navigator, which helps you now to navigate through your project. It also has other tools. You can scroll. You find you have elevations, which are shown here. When you expand, you can see we have got various elevations you want to view. Then you have also 3D view, and then components, or what we call schedules. So that's how we can navigate through a given project. You can navigate through your project. So to start, then up here, we'll have what we call the toolbox. The toolbox, or the settings dialog box, which contains the settings for each and every tool that you pick on design, document, or more. You have to give specifications depending on the scope of your design. So when you come to on Windows, they are also called palettes. So when you come to the palettes, you can see here we have toolbox or info box and the navigator. Now they are all appearing on the screen. So I just want to click that. So when you click it, it goes off. Sometimes maybe you closed it by mistake. So under window, you come to palettes. Then this is also called the toolbox. The little toolbox goes. So on the left, we don't have nothing. We don't have the toolbox. And also don't have the navigator. So to bring them back on the screen, you still come back to window. Then you click on the palettes. Then just click to activate. So when you click on the navigator, you will see the navigator appearing on the right of the screen. And then, and again on the toolbox under Windows tab, we have toolbox. When you click on the toolbox, you will see our toolbox appearing on the left side of the screen. So you can see that's how we can bring them on the screen. And any other palette that you would like to use when you are doing your architectural plan. So generally, that's how we bring on palettes, how we can move elevations, how we can bring back our toolbox. Sometimes you have closed them unintentionally or mistakenly when you're doing a design. You can still bring them back, and then you can still see them appearing here on the screen. Down here, we have this status bar. We have scale. You can choose the scale that you want to use for your designing. And then these are just by default. They are drafting the entire model, architectural, and then also the zoom. You can also zoom up to 25, or you can just use your mouse. As you click mouse, you can see the zoom also increases when you scroll the scroll in the mouse. So you can also increase your zoom to make sure you have a clear visualization of your plan or of your project that you are undertaking or designing. Thank you so much. We'll continue with the next lesson shortly. Welcome back, viewers, to our continuation of the ArchiCAD program. So on the introduction part, I showed you how we can navigate through the interface of ArchiCAD. So our next lesson, we are going to discuss how now we use various tools to design a simple plan or a simple house plan. So the concept for any plan remains the same depending on the tools which are here in the toolbox. So if you want us to start, always we start on the ground floor. That's the one which is active. Then we have story 1, story 2. We can also create stories. So we are going to start with a simple house plan and see how these tools can help us design a simple architectural plan. So to start, always start with your wall tool. So when you click on the wall tool, you will find that here in the wall tool we have what we call the toolbox, or the info box, not the toolbox, sorry, the info box. So when you click on the wall tool, you can see there's an icon for the wall, or a tab for the wall. That helps you. Now you can make your settings for the wall. Same to doors. When you click on the door, you can see we have in the info box, we have the symbol for door. So when you click, you will find it only opens the folder containing doors, because that's the tool that we have picked. So we have various types of doors. By clicking down here, you can scroll and see the types of doors that you want to use. They have got a variety of doors. Then you cancel. Same to windows. When you click on the window, you can see the window icon. It will only open only the folder containing windows. As I've said earlier, that's the tool that you have picked. So it opens that specific folder containing particular tool that you have picked here in the toolbox, so that you can have your settings. You can see we have our settings dialog box appearing. So it depends on which type of window you want. Yeah, you just click on the image and then you make your settings. This is the width, this is height. You can change the height. This is the seal height. From the seal header, you can enter value so that it starts maybe from a particular distance from the ground floor, and then now you make your settings. So each and every tool that you pick, you must go to the info box or the settings, so that you can change the settings and give it various sizes. So let me start with the wall tool. So when I click on the wall, to double click on the settings dialog box, so it gives us our wall. This is our wall. This is the height of the wall. By default, it is 3 meters or 3000 millimeters. That's the height. So we can view that in 3D as well. And then here we have the building material. In the building material, you pick this first one. This is called for structure basic. That one will now allow you can change the wall thickness here. So you can click on the wall thickness. You can give it any thickness. It can be 200 when you just type. So our wall thickness will be 200. And you can see our home story is ground floor. And then it ends at wall top is story 1. If you want a wall which does not go up to the top, you can click not linked, so that you can give any height. So when I click not linked, you can see here now we can specify the height of the wall that we want. So in this case, we can have a height of maybe 2700, for example. That's our height. So when you click not linked, you can give any height of your wall. So our wall will be 2700. And then now here we have a thickness of 200. And then now we have the building material. The wall is always a masonry block. So you can click. It can be stone structural. It can be masonry block structural. So that's our building material. And then this is preview and positioning. And then when you click on this arrow for the model, then you can change the surfaces for our walls. So we have got various surfaces. When you click to open, so they become active. So you can click on this. You can link the surfaces so all of them can have one surface. Then when you pick on one of the surfaces, then now you can simply scroll and give the surface that you want. So let me pick that. So you can see here, they all have that type of surface. So still on geometry and positioning, we have reference line. Always good to have the center to avoid losing some measurements when you are drawing, when you are doing dimensioning. So this center means when you are drawing the wall, the reference line will be at the center of the wall. So if our center of the wall, the thickness of the wall is 200, when you pick center, so we are drawing at the center, so this side and this side will be 100. So that's our height. Then you click OK. So you start to draw your wall. So when you start to draw your wall, you can see center to center. You will see that reference line. So to draw a wall, you simply click, give directions using your mouse, and then you type the distance of your wall. So I need a distance of maybe 5500. Just type 5500, then you hit your enter key. When you hit the enter key, you'll see there's a wall of 5500. Then you pick also on this other end. You want to go this direction to the right, then you can give another dimensions of 4200, if that's what stated. Then you also click there. You come down, maybe that's the design that you have been asked, or that's the design that you are working on. So I can do like 2000. They're in millimeters. Then I also just click, and then you drag your cursor. You make sure it is straight so that it does not go diagonal. Here we are still dealing with a straight line. So there we need a wall of 3500. Then you hit your enter key. So you just move on like that. You can still change here. You can do a 5200 wall, and then you come back here. If there's a wall that you want, I can do 4600. Just type your mouse, then you hit your enter key, then you come here. So I want to make sure this wall and this wall are in the same level. Once you have picked the wall giving directions, you press and hold the shift key. So when you press and hold the shift key, that means it does not go diagonal. Then there's a reference line showing there. I hope you can see that reference line. So I can match it with this so that they can be on the same level. Then you click. So you find this wall, and then you simply join this with this. Then they join up. So that's how we draw a simple wall of a house plan. Remember, our height is 3 meters. Yeah. Times you can decide to add more walls. Just click, and then you pick and join from there. Simply click and then join those other walls. So we are doing the partitioning. You can simply click there. Just escape. That's a little bit too small. I can click there, then draw my walls. You can see how now my walls look like. So that's how we design walls in Archicad after doing your settings here. So when you click on 3D and then you zoom, you will see we have our walls positionings there. This height from here to here is 2700. And then now we can come, this one is for orbiting, so that you can have an overview on how the 3D wall looks like. The thickness was 200. So as you click and hold the left side of the mouse, then on the orbit, you can now navigate and see all the sides of your walls. So that's in 3D. So just escape and then go back to ground floor. You will find you are going back to the floor plan. So we've done our settings for the wall. We've done our settings for the height of the wall, the thickness, and the materials. That's how it's done in the info box. After doing all this, now I want us to show you how we can do our floor or our slab. Same thing, you simply come to slab, then on the settings here, we have the slab icon. You just click, just double click, and then it will open. Or you simply double click on that slab tool, then it brings you to the settings for the slab. So same thing for the settings for the slab. You pick this one, because this one you can easily change the thickness of your slab. You can see it showing us the thickness of the slab there. So I can have 200 as my thickness, and then the slab goes from 0, starting from 0. The slab is concrete, structural, and then here in the surfaces you can click to open the surfaces or link, and then pick the surface of your slab. So I need a slab of maybe tiles, 300 by 300. So you can see my slab will be that. you will have that surface. Then I click OK. So your slab, you draw it alongside the wall. And remember, where you start your slab, you go along until you come and close it up, because it's a closed entity. So you zoom and start from this edge. Just pick your slab. You can zoom in and out up to that point. You see I'm moving. Just click on the corners of your plan, because I want to make sure my slab is closed. Just click. By clicking, and then when you reach here, there's like it will show you a hammer like. That means you are closing the slab. So when you click that, you have drawn your slab. The slab cannot be viewed in a plan unless now you come to 3D. So when you click on 3D, you will find our slab is down here. That's how we design the slab. You can also orbit. This is for orbiting. You can zoom in and out and see. When you orbit, you will find our slab shown, and the surfaces are also showing. Remember, we picked tiles, so that's how we design walls and place slabs, so that we can see it from top. So that's our slab. That's the surface that we picked for both in and out. You can change another surface if you wish by unlinking, so you can have various different surfaces for top and the bottom of your slab. So viewers, that's the simplest way of using tools in the toolbar and giving your settings by specifying the thickness or the length or the height if it is a wall. And remember, the slab, when you're designing the slab, it has to start from a particular corner, then you come and close it up. That's when it will form a slab. Yeah. So that's it. So you can also view your elevations by double clicking on one of the elevations. Then you click and see. Remember, here is 3 meters. So our wall was 27. So you can see from here to here is 27. This space we can leave it for maybe for beam, when you're inserting a beam, so that we can have a full length from 0 to 33 meters to 3000. You can have north elevation. Just come and double click. You'll see them appearing there, like that. Then you just click. So you'll see your elevations also showing various sides of your simple house plan. I think that's enough for this particular time. Next, we are going to see how we can place doors and windows and any other thing which might be needed based on the tools which we have here. Thank you so much, and let's meet a few minutes for the next lesson. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers, as we continue with our usual program in Archicad. Previously, we've seen how we are placing walls and columns. So in our next lesson, I want to welcome you and see how we can place doors and windows, columns and beams. So when we start, we need to place our doors, openings for all the permanent or called PVs in different locations, because right now we cannot access the inside part of our building. So we start with the door. So when you click on the door, you can simply double click on that door tool. Then it opens the folder for doors. So we have got various types of doors. When you scroll down, you'll see we have got types of doors there. You can pick rotating doors, sliding doors, or hanging doors. So under preview and positioning, that's how you can see that door in a plan. So this is the door which I've picked. So I can give the height, this is the width, and then this is the height. So for example, our height, I have to put it at 2700, and then the width can remain at 900, the usual one. Now this one can make it 26 because we have a seal height of 100. And then also in the door settings, you can see we have the door leaves. You can click and pick an appropriate leaf that you want. And then also we have the handle. So you can pick. We have knobs and handles, so you simply pick, so they'll be placed automatically. Then we click OK. So I want us to place our doors. Remember, doors are placed on the wall. So when you click, you can see we have that image showing a door in a plan. So you simply click, and then as you go up using your mouse, you can see how you want your door to open. Remember, doors usually open towards the wall. Then you click if that's the position that you want, and then place another door. Again here, you can see when you just move your cursor before you click the position, you can always orient and check the position. It's when now you can click. You can see we placed our doors there. Then there's place another door here, maybe to that wall, and another door there going towards that wall. Just click like that, and there might be another exit door going out. So we placed our doors. When you want to change to another door, you simply double click on the door tool, and then now you pick another door for big entrance, maybe the double door. Then you can also pick the leaf. Maybe you can make it with that type of grid, and then give it a handle. And then under preview and positioning, you can now change that to 2600, and also the width of your door. You can specify the width, so we can leave it at 15, and then you click OK. So we just zoom. So when you click, see this is a double door now. Our main entrance, you can move up and down and see which side it wants to open. Then you click. So you can see we have our doors placed in our plan. So they can also be viewed in 3D. Same to the doors, we can simply double click also on the windows. Then we've got various types of windows. So you always pick single or double hang windows. Those are the ones we usually use here. When you scroll down, you find we have such type of windows. So you click to pick a window, and then now here you give it the dimensions, maybe 1800. You can just type like 1800, that's the width. And then there's the height. You can give it a height. Remember, this height plus the seal, this is the seal height, the distance from where the floor starts up to where the window starts. Remember, our window, we are doing a window of up to 2600 level or 2700 level, depending on the height of our wall. So we can change, if this is 15, so we can change this one to 12. So 12 plus 15 gives us 27. So this is the distance from the floor, which is at 0. Then now we start from up to 12. And then we also have settings for the window, which you can also increase. Under the window settings, you click on this arrow, you can see your settings, you can change. Then you can pick the type that you want. No grade, VHV grade. You can pick that type of grade, then you click OK. So you can place your windows as well. Need to place a window there, check on the opening. Also need to place another window, maybe here. Another window here. Yeah. I might also require a different type of window. Simply double click, and then maybe I don't want that 3, I want this 2. Come to your preview and positioning, and also you can place your windows in this position. So this one we can reduce the width to be 1200. Yeah, that's a different type of window. Then you click OK. So you can come and place that window there. Then you click out. And maybe if there's another window in this position, then you simply click out. So you can place different types of windows in different locations. Then you click out. That's the opening. So you simply place our windows like that. Maybe you also have another window here. So those are various ways of placing windows. So first of all, you check up the settings of your windows, and then from there you give the parameters of the windows you want to place. You can also select a different type of window and then give the parameters. So after placing all the doors and the windows, now you can come to 3D. Then you'll see we've placed our doors, our windows. This is the sill height which I showed you. These are various types of windows we have placed. And doors, you can see they are reaching up to the top of our floor walls, so which is 2700. Yes. So you can see we have opening, the main opening, plus windows and doors placed in various areas, so that we can have a walkthrough. You can walk through your house plan. So that's how we place windows and doors in our floor plan. So each and every time you want to place a door and a window, you just double click on the icons, or when you click here, then the dialog box for settings will come up. So you can have the parameters of the objects for doors and windows which you placed. So remember, when we are setting the height for our walls, we are done 2700. So we need this space for another upstand wall or a beam if possible, so that we can reach 3 meters high for this particular floor. So when you come back to your ground floor, I can pick my beam or double click on the beam, and now we can change the beam. So you can change that height. You can change the height of your beam and the width of your beam. Maybe it's 200. And then now here we can have a height of 300 so that it reaches at the top. Remember, we are starting from story 1. So this is the height, 27 plus 300 gives us 3000. Then this is the width of our beam. And then just click OK. So to draw your beam, you draw your beam at the center of your walls. You can see that color of the beam. You can place your beam. Come to that end. You can see as we place our beams, the beams are always green in color. And just draw. And then join this with the other one. So you can see the beams have been joined. You can also pick another this side to have your beam up to that end. And also here, you can have another beam. So you can see our beams are joining up. They are dotted green in color. So you can place your beams. An example here, like that. So when you come back to 3D, you'll find we have our beams placed. So you can see the windows reach up to the beam level where the beam was started. We are given a height of 300. So that's the height of our beams. So you can see in our plan, we have a beam or beams placed. So that's how we insert beams, settings for the beams, how we insert windows and doors, and have the parameters for each and every component which you have. So when you come back to one of your elevations, now you will see we have our beam of 300 by 200 with 300 height, which is from here to here. Remember, this wall is 27. So we have our beam, so we are reaching up from ground floor to first floor. We have 3 meters high, plus with the beam, slab, wall, and the beam. Thank you so much, viewers. That's how we make a very simple plan using ArchiCAD by placing components, structural, doors, windows, slab, beams, and much more. Thank you. Let's meet in the next lesson for more.